This video we are going to see EC2 pricing models. There are four types of pricing models. They are on demand, spot, reserved, and savings plan. So on demand is request when you want it. Like we can create a instance whenever we want it, and we can delete the instance whenever we don't use. So it is very flexible and it is the most expensive one when compared to remaining one. And the second one is the spot. So we need to bid the maximum price. So we get around 90% off, but there is no guarantee that even we bid the maximum price, we may not get the EC2 instance. And the third one is the reserved. We need to reserve ahead of time so that we may get around 75% off if we take for 1 or 3 year reservation. The last one is the savings plan. So if we commit spending around, suppose if we take around $10 per hour on EC2 instance or AWS Fargate or Lambda services, we get around 66% off. So there are no restrictions in savings plan when compared to other three like on-demand, spot or reserve. So we get around 1 or 3 year reservation. We need to reserve for 1 or 3 year reservation. So that is about EC2 pricing model. So we will discuss one by one. So EC2 on-demand decision provision we can use and through. Like in practical video, we have seen that we have created the EC2 instance instantly, and we have deleted the that is we have terminated the EC2 instance. So it is a high this highest cost and highly flexible. So when compared to other model, the price is very high and it has highest flexibility. So this is what we have been using until now in this course. Yes. So it is ideal for when there is a huge traffic, that is spiky traffic on our web application, and it is used when we can't predict the runtime and it cannot be interrupted. So our application should not be interrupted. Then we can use EC2 on demand, and we can use EC2 on demand when we want to move our application from on premises to cloud. So further we can use EC2 on demand. Second one is the EC2 spot instance. Like in old model, we need to bid a particular price. So whoever bid the price, they may get the EC2 instance. But in the new model, we need to quote our maximum price, but the price is decided by the AWS. So they have some rules. According to that, they will give EC2 instance. So it is 90% off when compared to on demand, and also it can be terminated within a 2 minutes notice. So this means that if AWS has given as a EC2 instance, so it can be terminated within a 2 minute notice. So it is ideal for non-critical workload that can tolerate interruptions. So if your application does not have workload, that means if your application does not have a huge workload, then you can go for EC2 spot instance. So that is about EC2 spot instance. The next one is that reserved instance. So in reserved instance, we need to reserve the EC2 instance ahead of time so that we make it around 75% off. So there are three payment models: no upfront, partial upfront, and all upfront. In no upfront, we need to pay monthly installments in partial amount. In partial upfront, we need to pay some partial amount, and then we need to pay some monthly installment. In all upfront, we need to pay full amount while we are while we want to use EC2 reserve instance. Then there are no monthly installments. So when it comes to cost wise, the earlier you pay, the more discount. So uh, all upfront is cheaper than partial upfront. Partial amount is cheaper than no upfront. So there is only difference up to a 5% when compared to these three models. So that is about reserved instance. So when it comes to savings plan, there are two types of savings plan. One is the EC2 compute and the EC2 instant savings plan. So in EC2 compute saving plan, suppose if I spend X dollars per hour on AWS compute resources like EC2 or Fargate or Lambda for 1 or 3 year period, we may get around 66% off. So what are the benefits you get in EC2 compute savings plan? So in this we can change the instance family like size, OS, tenancy, shared or dedicated host tenancy as we discussed in the previous videos. or, or also we can change the AWS region of our AWS instance. So there are in AWS website, we can see that there are different regions. So if you want to move our EC2 instance in one region to other region, so then we can go for EC2 Compute Savings Plan. And also we can switch between EC2 Fargate and then to Lambda. So we can switch our EC2 from Fargate, then Fargate to Lambda, then Lambda to EC2. So this is about compute savings plan. In instant savings plan, so if I spend X dollars per hour on Amazon EC2 instance, specific instance family, general purpose, for example, within a specific region, US, for example, then we make it around 72%. Suppose if you don't want to change your region, that is EC2 instant region from one region to other region, then you can go for instant savings plan. But if you want to change your instant from one region to other region, then you can go for compute savings plan. So in AC instance, we can change our operating system from Windows to Linux and then Linux to Mac OS or then Mac OS to Windows. So the main difference between these two is that if we want to change EC2 instance from one region to other region, then we can go for EC2 compute savings plan. And if you don't want to change your AC instance from one region to other region and want to stick to a specific region, then you can go for EC2 instance savings plan. So the overview of our EC2 models. So on-demand spot reserved savings plan. So if you have huge traffic, then you can go for on-demand. Then spot, if your web application does not have immediate workloads, then you can go for spot reserved. So if you are having constant workloads that run all the time, then you can go for reserved. So in savings plans is that you get flexibility when compared to other three pricing models.